Shazam, and welcome everybody to another episode of the Lunch Table Podcast. In this episode, we're going to give you our spoiler-filled review for Shazam, Fury of the Gods now playing. I haven't seen it, but Dylan has. So Dylan, let's start with your thoughts.
Yeah, I love Captain Every Power Jr. It was a really fun movie, man. It was a cool family film, similar in tone to the first movie. I always say the Shazam movies are kind of like the Spider-Man Homecoming movies of the dceu. But it was fun. I really enjoyed it, and it didn't take itself too seriously. I didn't expect it to. It was a lot of cute humor in it, and it was a lot of like coming of age storylines in it. But yeah, it starts off. So after the events of Shazam, the first movie, the family, the Shazam family, or as I say, the Shazamly, they kind of have their own like superhero group. They're kind of like the Power Rangers in a way. It's so funny because they have the lightning bolt too. Right. But it's a story about like Billy. He's trying to keep the family together, and everybody's kind of like doing their own thing. And growing up, it's about, what do you do like when you grow up? Because he's actually reaching 18, so he's actually almost close to the age where he gets filtered out of the orphanage system. Oh wow! So it was kind of a story about like he's kind of like not letting go of things. He kind of wants things to keep how they were because all he remembers is the past and how good things are. But also we get 2 new additions to the Shazam franchise, the Daughters of Atlas. Ironically, I don't think they are in the DC comics as villains, but I think they were great additions. I think Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu were awesome on screen, and they were just like really powerful. Like they just felt like you felt their presence on screen.
Oh, cool! Yeah, it's all wow. I missed Lucy Liu. She hasn't been in a lot of stuff. So how was she in this movie?
Yeah, she was actually terrifying. She actually, like, spoilers ahead, but she actually is the main villain of this movie because Helen Mirren kind of like takes Shazam's side at the end of the movie. Well, basically what they were after, so basically when Shazam broke the staff from the wizard, he broke the barrier between worlds, between the magic realm and the mortal realm. So that's how the Daughters of Atlas came to Earth, and they're trying to get this apple. It was like a golden apple. It was called the Seed. So they basically wanted to take revenge on the humans for trapping them in the magic realm. But there's a third sister also, played by Rachel Zegler. She plays, I think, Anthea, the third sister. So she's kind of like a more like sympathetic god, right? She actually like favors humans, and it was sweet because she actually has like this cool little love fling going on with Freddy. This is like kind of like his up and coming movie where like he starts growing up and he starts like having relationships and he starts learning about like teenage stuff. But it was a really sweet movie, and to be honest, I think it was fun to watch, and I love the shots of Philly that they took. There was so many, like I was laughing in the first scene because it was like they were saving all these like cars from like the Ben Franklin Bridge because it was breaking down, and I kept laughing. I was like, that bridge is so fucking old. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it actually was breaking down one day.
Yeah, they have to save Philadelphia from itself.
Right.
Right.
It was fun. There was a joke. I was like, well, what could possibly go wrong? And then the whole bridge is like underneath the Camden River.
Let me ask you something. You mentioned that Shazam, the guy is, what's his name again?
The actor?
No.
Or Captain Marvel?
Billy. Sorry, Billy. Yeah. So Billy is kind of, he's getting out of the orphan system or whatever because he's turning 18. And he's kind of remembering the past, right? You kind of mentioned that. I wonder if that's a direct parallel to Hespera. Is that why she decided to turn good and actually get on the side of the Shazam family? It's
interesting. Yeah. Well, the Daughters of Atlas were kind of mad that, the humans were, well, basically they were mad at the wizard because the wizard kind of like took the powers away from their father, Atlas. So they stole their magic and kind of perverted it in a way. And that's why they're like on this path of revenge. And actually I was surprised at like the violence in this movie too, because there were like scenes where like they were turning people to stone and shit. Oh, wow. And then there was like one scene where like they actually like she pulled Lucy Liu's character, she like pulled like a Loki and she like whispered in this guy's ear and made her do what he wanted to, and he actually like falls off a building. I was like, oh shit.
Oh.
But yeah, so it's interesting. It could be a direct parallel to that. But yeah, I think it was a nice way of showing like Billy is kind of maturing in a way, even though he's like the most mature out of not just the Justice League, but out of the family of the Shazamly, as I say. Yeah. He like everybody else is kind of like figuring out who they want to be. Like I forget the one girl's name, but she's trying to study for college. And even Freddy, he's kind of like trying to find his way into like relationships. But Billy, he's kind of like he's stuck in his ways, I guess. And he's kind of, I think all he wanted to be is like the superhero for all his life. But I think he had to realize like there are things, you know, that are more important besides just being a hero, right?
That's interesting. Yeah, that's really interesting. Well, I guess he's like that in comics too, as well. But besides the Shazamly, we also have Djimon Hounsou. He's in this movie. So give me your thoughts on him.
Yeah, surprised he made a comeback. Because I thought he had died in the first one, but I guess his spirit somehow survived. He was locked in this prison that the Daughters of Atlas made. And then there was actually a really funny scene with him and Freddy. They're both trapped in this prison, and they're kind of just like talking, and he keeps forgetting Freddy's name. He keeps calling him like Jeff, like my name is Jeff or something.
My name is Jeff.
But man, he was actually really fun in this movie too. I think he's starting to realize now that he made the right choice with Billy, because sometimes like he regrets like, you know, that he made Billy the champion, but then there's other times where like he's like your heart was in the right place, so that's why I picked you. And he cleaned up at the end, man. There was like a scene where like he like dressed up and like he looked like a human. He had like this whole like pimp garb on. I was like, damn, Jovan cleans up.
He goes straight to pimping now in his new life.
Right.
Let me ask you, since we reviewed a while ago Black Adam, are there any references to Black Adam?
Sadly, no. I wanted there to be. I mean, Black Adam is one of Shazam's, you know, nemesises, so I was surprised that they didn't do that. Yeah, it was a wasted opportunity, but I guess they wanted to keep their movies separate, I guess. Maybe they're building like Black Adam to be like this anti-hero. I'll tell you what, though, there was a mention of the Justice Society. So at the end of the movie, at the mid-credit scene, there was a scene where I forget the name.
It's the worm.
The lady from Peacemaker.
Yes. I forgot her too. She's like James Gunn's wife, the blonde lady in real life. Yeah.
So she actually is sent by Waller to recruit Shazam into the Justice Society. I thought that was really interesting. I want to get your thoughts on that, actually.
Yeah, that's interesting. I could so see him a part of the Justice Society. I could see him, JSA, I think, of America. That's really cool. I could see also Atom Smasher joining, Hawkman, right? And I guess in a way that kind of ties it to Black Adam. Unfortunately, the Black Adam end credit with Superman was basically nothing now with all the news and whatnot. So I really don't know what they're going to do, because James Gunn is the head of the DCEU now. I would imagine that Shazam would have a similar role to, I don't know, perhaps let's say a Doctor Strange, the more magical side of things, and I mean, because you don't want to tie him directly to the old Greece type of stuff, because we also have Wonder Woman, which she makes an appearance apparently, right? In this.
Yeah, there was moments in this movie where I was like, where is Wonder Woman? Like, this is definitely like her ballpark, like of expertise. But she did make an appearance at the end, and I thought it was cool. They actually did a funny dream sequence where he was actually dreaming about he was on a date with Wonder Woman, and then they didn't show her face. And then it cuts to Wonder Woman's body, but it's the wizard's face, because he was trying to get a message to Billy. So it was pretty funny. But yeah, Gal Gadot does make an appearance as Wonder Woman. She actually resurrects him, because he technically died at the end, but it was like the magic died. So it was weird how they explain it. Like she restored the power of the staff, of the wizard staff, and that's what brought the magic back. And yeah, I kind of wanted them to have like a cool team up. Like it would have made sense, like the two gods, right, duking it out. Because there was a lot of cool Greek references in this movie. There was like like mythical monsters and stuff. There we saw like cyclopses and minotaurs and stuff. Is really cool.
And that's what Wonder Woman I think lacks in some of the movies now. I think we need to go back to that. Well, if he joins the Justice Society, I guess we're not going to see the Shazam Lee for a really long time, perhaps, because there's a lot of projects coming out that James Gunn has alluded to. Do you have any predictions of where this might go from what you saw of the movie, based on the movie?
I mean, it really depends on what happens after Flash. If we get like a total franchise reboot, or I could see it maybe. I mean, they kind of made it seem like this was gonna be the final Shazam movie.
Oh wow!
But perhaps if they do bring back Justice League, I could see like just Asher Angel and Zachary Levi returning.
Yeah.
I don't know about Jack Dylan Grazer. I mean, he was awesome in this movie, but I think like Shazam's movies are kind of done now.
Okay.
Yeah, but I really would want to see The Rock and the Shazam movies like collaborate. It makes sense. It's like why not do it? But I don't know what James Gunn's vision is, like you said. And yeah, we did see kind of like at the end credits too, like they brought back Dr. Savannah. I think it was like a cut clip or something from the first movie. It was like the worm or something.
Yeah, they didn't do anything with it, but I guess they didn't do anything with it here as well. But they just brought it back just to bring it back. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I mean overall, story was pretty cute. The CGI was really good in this movie too. There was like a big kind of dragon thing that we saw in the trailer. It was this big monster that Shazam fights. I thought it looked really cool on screen. But yeah, it wasn't too memorable, but it was just like a fun little family film. So I'd say if I had to rate it, I'd probably give it maybe like 7 or 8 out of 10.
Oh yeah, okay. It's just fine, I guess. It's just like something you go see. Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes not every movie I guess has to be.
To be honest, I don't think many people take the DCEU seriously anyway. So it's like it can only go up, right? I mean, we had Black Adam, and it wasn't like the most spectacular movie, but it was still fun to watch, right?
Right. Oh, there you go. So this is just fun to watch. All right, man. Well, why don't you take us away?
Yeah, thank you guys so much for our in-depth spoiler review. Check out our other playlists. Check out our other DC and Marvel reviews as well. We have another review coming up for Scream 6, and we have so many other things planned. But yeah, check us out on Instagram, YouTube, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify as well. But yeah, until then, Shazam.
Shazam!